to come up with a new thing for that. Alright, I am Steel Walrus, you are awesome, and welcome to the stream. If you are watching this later as a pod or whatever, you know, the live archive footage from YouTube, I'm glad you're here. Glad you made it kind of late to the game, but you're here, and that's what's important. That's what matters in my little walrusy heart. So, we are on Dromund, which is a real interesting and honestly pretty dangerous place in the galaxy. It's the heart, some would say even the beating heart, though that might be debatable, of the Sith Empire. It's the, oh god. Okay, we're good. Computer just sort of hiccup for a second. It likes to do that.
Ready for departure.
Anywho, we're in the heart of the Sith Empire. Now this is more where the seat of the government is, so this is more, you know, there are obviously the Dark Council is involved here.
Attention citizens. A dangerous criminal was last seen in this sector. Civilians are hereby granted access to scanner probe resources to aid in apprehending the offender.
Okay, so anyhow, as much as I like those dynamic events, it does make it a little complicated sometimes to deliver your intro or whatever you're talking about. What the? Oh, okay. This is. I don't see anybody to whom I should be speaking, so I'm gonna just not do that. I think that might be broken. Anyhow, it can get a little complicated to deliver your intro with those just randomly popping off. But we make do, right? Country walruses make do, or whatever. What was I saying? Right. So this is kind of like the political center. Think, you know, if Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine are hanging out on Korriban, which obviously it's not, you know what I mean. If they are one sort of side of the culture, then, you know, Moff Tarkin being the other side, thinking about this in like modern Star Wars, right? There, you know, that's kind of how that goes. Now, of course, this is 3,000 years before the Rule of Two and before the movies and all that good stuff. So, you know, obviously it's gonna not quite work. You know, you're not gonna run into Wilhuff Tarkin or anybody like that here. But his spiritual ancestors and predecessors, absolutely.
Enjoy your stay.
Even though technically the Galactic Empire is a direct descendant of the Republic, it definitely vibes a lot more like the Sith Empire in a lot of ways.
You tagged that screaming idiot, huh? Only a matter of time before the Sith pounce on him. It's not gonna be pretty. Doesn't bother you getting that guy killed?
I'm just conveying the message.
I tried to tell myself the same thing about those other victims. I'm not happy, but it was either him or me. He should have kept his mouth shut. Here, this is every credit I have. Thanks for the help.
Alright, and we got another piece of gear, which unfortunately
Ready for departure.
just ain't that useful. Now, we're supposed to go for archaeological plans. That's at the foot of the Colossus. Now, the game is telling me that I can go here. But that's kind of the funny thing about Dromund and a couple other places on this planet.
Enjoy your stay.
Is you need to kind of learn what the game is going to tell you versus what actually is the truth. So, in this instance, the game is telling you fast travel here, and there's some merit to going there instead of going here, but just just go here if you're just trying to do Shadow of the Colossus.
Destination.
There are other points where going through the jungle and going through the woods is going to make sure you get all the content, but this is not one of those times.
Enjoy your stay.
At least that I can remember off the top of my head. So learn the map, learn how, you know, all the little bits fit together, and it's not hard to do. You know, you get a pretty good topographical overview of Roman Kos here and other worlds. Balmora is tricky, but Balmora is Balmora, and we don't talk about Balmora because it's the devil. And you will hear me say that many times, that Balmora is just Satan. It's the great Satan. But we've almost arrived. I don't remember how much this costed to take. It doesn't really matter. Again, guys, some people are going to get uppity about stuff like, oh, the fast travel costs money, and
Do you require
yeah,
medical attention?
it should. But I have 42,000 credits. I've not done anything to make money. You'll be fine. You'll be so totally fine. I'm gonna, well, actually, I don't really need to. Who cares? All right, throw those out. Sell those. We're gonna hold on to these.
Be
Go
well.
away. All right, do that. We'll get some stuff, which we can sell these on the market, make even more money, and then we can fast travel even more and piss off the sweats who have to count every single little penny to be happy. Yeah. So again, and this is always going to feed into my just deep-seated desire to focus more on maximizing fun as opposed to maximizing effectiveness. Now, if being as totally perfectly strong and powerful as you possibly can be is something you have fun with, cool, good. My guides are not going to be for you.
Exactly
I
as
love this
reported.
quest.
A degree 6 revolt, population equivalent to the Duros uprising on Zilior. Subjects occupy a moderate radius of jungle. Good. Good. Welcome, apprentice. Your timing couldn't be better. I am Lord Drow. When the Empire encounters resistance on its conquered worlds, they call me. I'm here to end the slave uprising on Drummond Cass.
All right.
You enjoy your job, don't you?
Dominating lesser beings and squashing their will to resist? Of course I enjoy it. I think you will too. The situation is this. A Sith Lord was constructing a colossal statue of himself in the jungle. His slaves revolted and armed themselves. The Colossus remains unfinished, and well-armed slaves now control the jungle. An embarrassment for the Empire, but an opportunity for me.
What can these renegade slaves possibly provide you?
Test subjects, of course. A means of perfecting my techniques. I'm testing a toxic weapon, a poison called Quell. Its victims experience a prolonged state of agonizing pain before finally dying. The victims' allies are so horrified by Quell's effects, they lose their wills to resist. At least that's what I intend to prove.
Sounds like a worthy cause.
Yes, cowing the masses is a complex art. It requires a great deal of fine-tuning. I need someone to introduce a controlled amount of Quell into the slaves' water supply, so that I can determine the proper dosage. The work is dangerous, there will be armed slaves everywhere, but your success will be well rewarded. What do you say?
My duty is my life.
Superb. Then let's get started. My assistant, Sergeant Slerin, will recommend the correct dosage of Quell and give you a supply. See him at the research tent.
All right. So, one of the reasons I like this quest is it's, for one, it's fun. You know, it's a good way to kind of get around on Drummond Kos, or get around this area and get a little bit more XP out of it. But also, it again highlights something that I've kind of hinted at, talking about the Sith Empire. there is a problem with the Sith Empire. And if you can guess what that problem is, I'll give you a cookie. 3, 2, 1. The problem is the Sith. It's the Sith. The Sith are the problem. The Sith are so concerned with little pet projects and little pet squabbles and just being terrible that they tend to not be very good at, like, rulers. And this, you're going to see sort of an alternate perspective. This actually, again, highlights a friction between the Sith Empire and the Dark Council. And by Sith Empire, of course, I mean the mundanes, right? The normal, non-force sensitive humans. And it is primarily humans in the Sith Empire. And you're going to see a friction here, and it's to me very interesting.
If I know Lord Drow's tastes, which unfortunately I do, he sent you for the quell toxin.
I'm helping him put down the slave revolt.
Do you truly understand what he's asked you to do? What if I told you this experiment is pointless? That past studies have shown increased suffering has no impact on the speed of surrender? This has nothing to do with accelerating the end of a rebellion. Lord Drow simply takes perverse thrill in gratuitous suffering.
Yawn.
Don't you see? Lord Drow compromises efficiency for his own twisted fixations. I want this assignment over with. The faster this rebellion ends, the faster I'll be reassigned to more important work. Serving Lord Drow's bloodlust has stunted my career. If not for his inefficiency, I'd be a captain by now.
You're awfully enamored of yourself.
I know my potential, just as I know who's holding me back from achieving it. Lord Drow's dosage of quell toxin will have slaves writhing in agony for pointless weeks, during which this area will remain volatile. I've prepared a dose that will kill the slaves efficiently, which is better for the Empire and for me. Will you deliver my dosage instead?
Now, we're gonna go with the Sith answer to this because we're chaotic like that.
I want these renegade slaves to pay for disobeying the Empire.
You're not merely prolonging the slaves' agony, but my own as well. Committed to your
Yes.
work, aren't you?
Yes.
Very well. Take the quell toxin and inject it into the slave camp's water filtration systems. See Lord Drow for your payment when you're done.
Alright, so, again, you can see that friction that's at play there. The Sith, again, are more focused on their own little petty projects and being the Sith than they are on being the Empire, whereas the Empire and servants of the Empire, their qualms aren't moral. It's more a squabble over efficiency, at least in this case. And that's, to me, again, that's a really interesting little bit of friction between, I'm going to say the left and right hands of the Empire. There's only one guy in there, but I'm slapping down a good old-fashioned storm because it's fun. All right, so we've got one here. You can check the map. You'll see where all of them are supposed to be located. And of course, we've also got an option there. Now, this goes back to our your thing, right? Crafting, archaeology. You can pick up archaeology skill just by doing that, as well as the archaeology items. So you're not, you know, you're not at the mercy of doing these little missions all the time. You don't have to do that. But I'm curious what you guys think about the sort of power struggle and philosophical gulf that exists between the regular people of the Imperium, not the Imperium, the Empire, though it is roughly as comedically evil, and the Dark Council, the Sith. Because personally, I think it's really fascinating. I definitely think that the biggest problem with the Sith Empire the Sith Empire is the Sith. You know, they are too busy being very dark sidey. Grab some more archaeology. Now that is an interesting little thing. Somebody pointed that out on one of my videos, that it tends to get kind of lopsided. And they're right, because treasure hunting is a crew skill you can only really send people out on, as far as I remember. So that one will get kind of lopsided if you're gathering. Personally, there's nothing wrong with just doing gathering skills because of that. But my personal opinion there is just sell it. Sell the stuff you find for a little extra money, and then fall through the cracks like a goofball. Meanwhile, we also have a little bonus, the direct approach. So on top of wiping out the revolt through chemical means, you're also just going to go through and wipe some of these guys out. Get a little extra bonus on top of there, which is nice. Did I miss one? I think I missed one of the tanks. I did. No. No, because that one's sort of where we're going. We're going to go down here first. I think that's a fair way to cut this up. Alrighty. And there he goes. Now, if you want to get real strategic with it, that's right, that's a word. You can always adjust your perspective to get a really nice bird's eye view. Another water filter, or not a filter, another tank. And back up the hill we go. Oh, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've just felt off all day. I don't know why. I think I may have eaten something that didn't agree with me. That happens occasionally, because I do eat a lot, being that I am, in fact, a walrus. Oh god, why is it like an invisible wall there for a second? It's weird. Alrighty. Oh, there's one of those little environmental hazards I definitely forgot about. All right. And those guys are dead. Didn't really need to kill them, but there is a crystal formation here. And if you want to level up that sweet, sweet gathering skill, you want to make sure to grab it. Besides, you're also going to get a lot of the stuff you need for crafting, because you're going to need a fair amount of that if you want to craft. And I do. I like crafting. Good money, and you get to make cool stuff. Now we've got one more filter. We're not going to turn this in like immediately. We're actually going to wait until we've done the other Colossus missions. And then we'll hit this on the way back out. But since we've done most of this at this point. Oh, he dead. Alright. Lightning bolt. Bam. 5. That feels like a pretty good rotation. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, so now we can go back to Lord Drow. We don't need to do that right now, however. Okay, we've got another little side quest we can pick up over here.
My lord?
It's pretty neat.
Look at them out there. They're like animals. Hundreds of slaves with no one to command them and without a thought in their minds as to what to do with their freedom. Like I said, the slaves are animals. But we've noticed strange behavior in the pack. And my superiors want to know more. Some of the slaves are killing each other. We don't know if they're mad or hungry, desperate, or if there's a faction of slaves who've turned on the rest.
I can see how a slave civil war would prove useful.
Exactly what the higher-ups are saying. That the killers could potentially be manipulated. We know that the killings are ritualistic. The murderous slaves come in the night, stab their foes, and paint themselves in blood. If you could investigate, catch them in the act and take them down, maybe you could find a clue to their motives.
I'll see what I can do. But I remember what it was like, being one of them.
Ah, yes. Yes, my lord, of course. Look for any slave who's turned on his peers. With luck, he'll lead us to answers.
Alright, this is another really interesting storyline. It gets a little bit of insight into the public's view of what the Force is, and the Sith's view on what the Force is. A little bit of conversation about how social mobility works in the Sith Empire. It's neat, and it's just kind of a neat little side quest. We've also got a heroic here we can pick up, so we're gonna go ahead and do that.
Hey, my lord, right? Not sure about my propers with you folks. Seeing as how you're already killing slaves and causing a fuss, how'd you like to make a pile of credits?
I do love credits.
That's what I like to hear. Let me give you the lowdown. So Darth Valron is on the Dark Council, and his apprentice Lord Ket wants to advance, so he starts building a giant statue to his master. But Lord Ket doesn't want his master to know, so he brings in slaves from off-world. Slaves rebel, and we get this mess.
Buy cheap slaves and get a rebellion. Everyone knows that.
Here's where it gets complicated. Lord Ket wants to save face, but secretly. He calls in me and my mercs. By the time we get here, the slaves have captured some giant industrial drills, and they're getting ready to bring down the whole giant statue. Our best team goes in with explosives to blow up the drills. Slaves kill every last one. Got a pile of credits for anyone who grabs those explosives, hooks them to a giant drill, then fights off slaves until the explosives detonate.
Alright, so that's going to be kind of a bite and hold type scenario. We'll try it. This heroic area is a little spicy for one person, but it is doable. Most heroics are doable solo. You just have to kind of have your head on. Yeah, we've got archaeological plans. Okay, so that's part of what we're doing for our main storyline. And we also, of course, have a bonus for just ending the slaves. Let's see if there's a good reason to go into this little corner here, and I don't believe that there is off the top of my head, but aside from, of course, that we can pick up these fragmented plants. Okay, so you jumped there. Alright, so let's keep an eye out as we move along. Why does this look different than it used to? Or am I just... maybe my brain ain't working. Alright, there we go. And we've got all the archaeological plans, so we get a call. We'll answer that. See who it is.
Does this mean you found them?
Of course it's Ash.
You found the
Always
archaeological plans?
Hope there's not too much blood on them.
Oh, no. I've read much, much worse. Now, let me see. Ah, yes. How clever. There's a chamber hidden under the Colossus itself. I bet my complete collection of Naga Sado's Yavin 4 writings that you'll find what we're looking for in this chamber.
Tell me how to access this chamber.
There should be a hidden entrance near the Colossus. It looks like Scotia has an entire underground base. You're looking for a tablet. The tablet is the symbol of leadership of an obscure Trandoshan cult. The lizards believe it was a gift from their deity, the Scorekeeper. Scotia stole the tablet and uses it to exert control over his Trandoshan bodyguards. Give them their relic, and Scotia's power over his bodyguards will turn to vapor.
His own defenses will be his downfall.
You could try it. It might weaken him a little. Scotia's not stupid enough to retain guards who could actually overpower him. The main thing is to keep Scotia's bodyguards off you. The plans suggest Scotia's apprentices guard this base. I don't doubt they hold the keys to acquiring the Trandoshan tablet. Best kill them all to be sure.
Inubis just nas jans, now mipan astana tods jans.
Alright, so we've got sort of a little bit more what the plan is. Obviously this whole thing is Ash dealing with her rival, Darth Scotia. Notice, she's a Lord, he's a Darth. This has something to do with her climbing the rank. Like, climbing the ranks, right? Again, Sith infighting. The Sith being the actual problem, you know?
Turn against us. Grind them to dust before they damage the
I don't know
Colossus.
why I'm surprised by that anymore.
Teufel atraus.
Okay, and now as far as the rebel slaves, we've got the, like, their little infighting thing they've got going on. We've got their plans, their meeting point. We're gonna go meet one of their representatives. Should be interesting, but I'm gonna grab this rock first.
You are not the initiate. You are Sith. You honor us with your presence, mighty lord. Welcome to our prison.
What is this? Are you the one behind the killings?
I am Traga Unvol, leader of the Unchained. I am master of my hatred. When the other slaves broke free, I laughed. Like you, I knew their escape was a delusion, for only Sith possess true freedom.
Either way, you're still stuck here.
To leave would have been to die in the fire of Imperial blasters. I had other plans. I saw a chance to prove myself. I culled weak from strong. I began to kill and to teach. I showed slaves freedom through bloodshed. Now my followers and I are the masters here. And soon, we will become Sith ourselves.
You may have potential. But are you strong in the Force?
My strength is in my fists. But the Force has guided me here. And it has guided you. Now you can spread word of us to the Empire. Your strength is great. With your approval, we shall serve. Carry our message of allegiance to your masters, and we will become the new face of the Empire. We will be champions of the dark side.
The Empire will hear your message.
As it should be. Take this datapad, my plea to the Sith Lords. For now, I am not ready to leave the Colossus. With every kill, I feel my power grow, and there are many slaves who may yet join me. But soon, we will all be ready. We will await word from the Empire.
You may do as you wish, but you don't yet understand the Sith.
Yes, I look forward to learning.
So, as I sort of alluded to, it does give you an idea into how the normal people perceive their place within the Sith Empire and how a lot of things work. He doesn't outright state that he thinks what he's doing is going to make him Force sensitive or make him a Sith. In fact, I think he seems to be relatively aware that it doesn't quite work like that. But there's a little bit of glimmer of a hope, right? That the more he fights, the more he competes, the more he dominates others, the more like the Sith he will become. And I think that probably has to do with a general vibe in Sith society that competition is everything, that the strong dominating the weak is just the core principle by which the Sith Empire is run. And of course, on some level, that kind of works for the Sith, right? But on others, right now, the thing that's probably keeping the rebel slaves in check is the fact that they're busy killing one another. Obviously, if the Sith were to push in, it would be a little too costly. But yeah, it's a complicated kind of thing, I think. I think that what is holding both sides back at this point is perceptions. The slaves, well, the rebel slaves, they think that they can get stronger by acting like the Sith. The Sith think that the rebel slaves are actually going to pose some sort of threat. Meanwhile, I'm in here carving through them like butter. Like a very, very, very hot knife through butter. And I am going to kill these commandos. Stop doing that. Thank you. Have a day. Okay, we've got one of these down. Let's go hit the, well, I say that. Let's go hit this one in the back. Anyway, I'm curious what y'all think. I mean, am I just rambling? Am I just blowing hot air, or do you think there's something to the way I kind of see these things working currently? Because really, I do think it's just a matter of people either playing the game or not playing the game. That's a bad way to describe that. Not as chipper as I was on my last stream, I guess. Not as awake, because it's midnight.
Afragiban.
But that's okay. Of course, I did try and stream at noon earlier today. And you don't stream at the same time that Swotarista streams. She is the undisputed queen of streaming. She's very good. She's very popular, as well she should be. She is I mean, she's part of what's kind of inspired me to do what I do, right? Excuse me. So no shade there at all. But I didn't even realize that that she was streaming. I'm like, wow, middle of the day, this should be the best time to stream. It is not, because that's when the big streamer is doing her thing. You gotta let the Wookiee win, and that's okay. All right, so powder keg, we've got a couple more things we're supposed to be doing. We got to defeat Republic forces. There's one more up here we can hit. There's the Republic forces. Oh! There's a little button that became available there. I don't have all of my interrupts, unfortunately.
Afragiban.
Oop. And he hath been booped. We hit the little bunny button here. Do that real quick. Another thing we can either sell or, you know, more or less whatever the hell we want. Alright. Hold on. That's a mighty close you have to get for that. Okay, we just hit the little button. Burn is protected by Republic. Okay, so we have to do... That's funny. I liked it.
Ake us erpai was ja us.
I think it's going to be on the other side of this thing here. Ah. Well, I messed that up. Not that one, though. Sadly, can't really out DPS this guy. Luckily, he's pretty dead anyway.
Baru jamunja.
Boom. Alright, there we go. Now we go back here and we get up nice close to the ordnance. So again, remember, if you're doing this one, you're doing the, you know what, little arbitrary destruction of the enemy. Never hurt anybody, except for the enemy. Alright. So, if you're doing this one, you want to get up close, and you want to make sure you've done all of the little anti-air installations.
You are as cruel as you are effective. The Council approves.
So that's pretty cool. I'll have to go back and maybe at some point we'll just do all of the dynamic events and try and make a little guide out of it. They're all easy and they're Oh, I was muted for a long time. I thought that's unfortunate. Alright, so I need to get a little bit stronger in terms of my DPS, I think. At least my damage output, because I'm starting to notice that even basic mobs aren't going down with one of the force storms. Oh, here we go. Here's another archaeology skill check. There we go. Now let's have a look at something. If I open up my materials, archaeology, we can go over to treasure hunting, and you'll notice that I picked up some fire nodes and some other things as we've gone along. So that's something to be aware of, and I'm going to keep track of that, because obviously your harvesting skill is going to be a little different. Uh-oh, they do not like that I am here. Alrighty. And we get a bonus for killing these guys, so we might as well just go all out. Nope. Don't like that. Yep, can't back out of that one. Okay, we're gonna hit the little funny button there. And he's done. Now we want to go up top. Fight another bunker commander. Yep.
In Teufel atraus.
And he's done.
Giants.
And Apprentice Irex. Not even a mini boss, just a dude. Alright, so we'll have a little bit more to do. We're going to try and skirt some of this just a little bit. Pop over onto the left side so you're not getting into every single fight that you possibly could. Because you frankly don't need to. It's a little bit of a waste of time. And while the game itself may not necessarily respect your time, it gives you the opportunity to make your time respected. You just have to know where those opportunities are and how to use them. Here's one. Ah. Just kind of stuck here. Right. And there you are. Got another little guy to fight here. And he's done. Don't even think I got that lightning strike off properly. It just was there. Crap. They really like their force choke. Which, I don't blame them. Nice. Alright. Now I've just got one more to go. We'll be all set. Man, I am just having a time with this chair tonight. Alright. You know, it's a shame y'all missed yesterday's stream. Probably some of my best content. Like, just in terms of vibes. But, you know, that's okay. That happens. It's all there. You can go watch it on my channel on YouTube. If you're subscribed over there, you'll even get notifications when I put out more of it. And of course, you've got the VODs over here on Twitch as well. But, yeah, I kind of prefer you guys take a look at YouTube. That's where I'm kind of putting my main effort these days anyway, is over on YouTube. Because it's what I know best, what I'm most comfortable with. Oh yes, we got our little heals. Right, and another little room full of droids. He likes his droids. That's certainly interesting. Oh, and here we have Ogathu. And there he is. All done. And now we can just grab the tablet and get out of here. Or can we? Dun dun dun. Shock. Oh. He thought he could be surprising. He were wrong. Alright. That was goofy. But it's me. Goofy is kind of what you get around here. Alright, so we're going to slip on out. Let's make sure there's not... Well, we should get out of the bunker first. Because we do have a couple of things we want to do in this area. I don't think there is a fast travel... I don't think we can fast travel from here, even if we wanted to. So we want to get out of here and go talk to Zash, but we have a couple of missions to turn in. Well, we have one mission to turn in. We have another mission to do in this area, so we're going to go ahead and take care of that. And then we'll go talk to Zash. Alright, yeah, we were always gonna have to fight these guys. This is one of the reasons I kinda, like, prefer the assassin and the stealth classes, is because you can just straight up skip encounters. However, on your first playthrough, unless you really want to play an assassin, I don't recommend playing any class just because it is more efficient in some way. That's just goofy. Like, you're limiting how much fun you can have. Like, if you really want to play the sorcerer, for example, or if you really want to play, you know, a power tech or something, you're gonna kind of cuck yourself if you're not careful.
These pathetic worms turn against us. Grind them to dust before they damage the Colossus.
You know, you're gonna kind of screw yourself out of having as much fun as you can if you make choices solely based on what is just the most efficient. It's why I really do. I get kind of preachy about that sort of stuff, and I always will. I just hate seeing min-maxing as, like, the only way to play a game. Games are supposed to be fun. They're not jobs. They're not spreadsheets, unless you're talking about EVE Online. That is just a spreadsheet with a cool UI. But I happen to like that spreadsheet with a cool UI, so it's fine. Everything's fine. It's great. We love it. Right, this is going to be a heroic area. So this is the mission we got from that bounty hunter, where they've got some equipment we need to go down and protect while it does its thing. And we do not want to go off of this cliffside unassisted, because it's a long way down. So this is saving face. We are recovering explosives.
In Teufel atraus.
There you go. And luckily, there is somebody here also doing this quest line, so we're gonna run up behind him. Use my rocket boost to do that. And we're gonna grab this rock. That's a pretty cool war droid he's got there. Okay, so we gotta get the explosives off of this guy first. Again, remember, we're about to be up against harder enemies than we're used to, so just be ready for that yourselves. Yeah, we just gotta wait for them to regenerate, I guess. And that could take a little while. What do you know? Again, it's really nice to see that, like, there's still enough activity that you have to queue.
Aru Jamunja.
Gotta help that guy out. And now we plant the device. We gotta defeat some rebel slaves. Hopefully our friend... Nope, he's just gonna leave. Awesome, love that. Thanks, buddy. hold on, button. I definitely pressed 6 there. Stop hitting me with that. Thank you. Alright, Taskmaster, let's go. Why am I not able to? Oh, no, it's just bugged. Okay. I was a little upset there for a second. Get back. No, stay over there. Ah, I missed that one. Okay. That's my bad. We're gonna step gently back out of this little circle of screwery.
Afargiban.
I'm gonna wait till he starts to do an attack to use the electrocute power. This is proving a little bit more spicy than I had wanted. Damn it! Get back.
That was a fantastic show.
Jeez,
that drill
was
just
more
lit up the
complicated than I
night.
really
Here's
wanted
the
it to be.
credits, as promised.
Yeah, so I've noticed these fights start to used to seems like if you got into one of these fights, you would just kind of stay in that one spot. Now they tend to push you around, push you into other mobs. I mean, we nearly ended up over here, which would have been terrible, honestly.
Baru Jamunja.
Here we go. Before that goes back up. All right. And now. Oh, fuck. All right. Yeah, that's what I get. Come on. We're just lightning bros over here. It's cool. Alright, time for Varactile. But we're just gonna run. We're gonna totally ignore the fact that we've been engaged, and we're gonna run, because well, never mind. Guess we're in this fight. Luckily it'll be easy, because they're mobs. It's no problem whatsoever. Yeah, there you go, Kinball. Home back. Now, we had the one with the sort of slave uprising with an uprising. Let's return this to
It's good to see you
Davidson.
back. I knew those slaves couldn't hold their own against you. I take it you managed to track down one of the murderers. What's their story? Can we use them?
The killers will now serve the Empire. I have their oath of allegiance here.
What do you mean? Let me see that datapad. This is madness. They're serious. Slaves who think they can become Sith.
A slave can become Sith. Never forget that.
Yes, as you say. I'll inform Command. I'm not actually authorized to speak with Sith Lords on the blockade, but I'll make sure they know too. It's been an honor working with you. I hope we meet again.
Okay. Now, the next thing we gotta do, we gotta go back to Lord Drow. And hit that quick travel though, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna... actually, I think it may be faster just to go direct. Now I'm probably going to take a little quick break here in a minute, just to get some water, stretch my legs, think about life, the universe, and everything. And then, you know, I'm beginning to actually kind of want these slaves to suffer. Then we'll probably go for another hour. I may stream some EVE Online later today. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. I try and stream maybe 2-3 hours at a time. I don't want to stream constantly, but at the same time, like, the more the better, right? More content out there for you guys to enjoy, and, you know, more experience for me as a streamer, which, as someone trying to learn how to stream, that's a big deal.
You delivered the exact results I hoped for. Quell is like an imbibed torture device infesting those rebel slaves. It's exhilarating to see the effects on the survivors who can only stand by and watch helplessly.
I'm happy to see you're so pleased.
Quell toxin will be a great asset to the Empire. Uprisings will end painfully and decisively. You've earned your reward, my friend. Now go. I have horror and despair to observe and chronicle.
Excellent. And yeah, that's kind of the... I mean, they're exactly the same. Alright, so, you know, like I said, when we were talking about that earlier, it really does seem to be more about the Sith kind of focusing their energies on being as Sith as possible. Now we're going back to Lord Zash here, so we're going to spend the 365 because, again, I have over 40,000 credits sitting in my pocket from doing absolutely nothing. There's no reason you shouldn't be quick traveling, all right? Like, aside from if you haven't been to that area or been through an area between where you are and where you're going. So, just quick travel. It's not that expensive. It really is not that expensive.
I've recovered the Trandoshan relic.
Then we've both had success in our endeavors. But the Trandoshan bodyguards are only part of Scotia's defense. His greatest weakness is that he's mostly machine. The rogue Sith Lord, Grathan, is holding a cyborg expert named Dorotsek captive. He has developed a neutralizer for me, the kind that should destroy Scotia's cyborg elements. Find Dorotsek, get him to tell you where the neutralizer is, and then silence him.
Do you have any other instructions for me?
No, that's all for now. Grathan's estate is in the jungle. Interrogate the scientist. With any luck, Scotia will soon be out of our way, and then we'll be free to pursue Tulak Horde's lost power as we please.
Ustaitnians an parana, rahitis ni aino.
Alright, so we've got more gear still, which is good. Something to be aware of, something fairly important to be aware of, is that the higher your gear level that you have on right now, that tends to affect the level of the gear that you get. It's a good way to kind of rate, like to gauge how good your gear is. Though it's not maybe as critical as in some games. But yeah, you definitely want to keep an eye on your item rating. Let's make sure I'm not using the wrong words. Yeah, item rating instead of gear level. That's my bad. Right, and we also passed Dark 1. That's pretty cool. Anywho, I'm gonna take a quick little break on us here. So please enjoy the dulcet sounds of just drum and Koss, I guess. All right, BRB. There we go. All right. Alright, I am back. I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little quiet for a couple of minutes. I do want to get my breath. I took that little interlude to walk around some and move around some because I'm gonna be real with y'all. There's a reason a walrus is my avatar. I am very out of shape. So, anywho, yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like the little things there. All right. So where are we headed? So we are on our next phase. We're going to Lord Gratham's estate. We're doing this part of the mission. It's the big area we're going to be covering, and what this is going to allow us to do is get more tools in our belt to deal with Lord Darth Scotia. Again, it's very important he's a Darth. There is a difference between Darth and Lord. Anywho, now, unlike the unfinished Colossus, we are not...
Destination?
We are not going to be
Enjoy
going
your stay.
right there. We're actually going to stop at the edge of the city. We're going to ride out, because there are several little quest lines that you will miss if you don't
Attention,
do
citizens.
that.
A dangerous criminal was last seen in this sector. Civilians are hereby granted access to scanner probe resources to aid in apprehending the offender.
Also, on the subject of taking breaks, I highly recommend that no matter how in shape or out of shape you are, if you sit at your desk for an hour, you need to get up for a few minutes. Technically, you should get up for 15 minutes. I just got up for maybe 4. But, yeah. Make sure you're getting up, stretching your legs, and generally just taking care of yourself. Because you don't want a blood clot, I can tell you right now, because you will be on medication for that son of a bitch for years. I had a clot in my leg. I talked a couple of nights ago, we were talking on stream about smoking and its effects on the body, and you know, if you're, all of us are doing something unhealthy, and your body, all of our bodies are actually kind of like microchips. It's surprising. On one hand, it can be very surprising how resilient human bodies are, but on the other hand, it can also be surprising how easily things go wrong with them. Okay. I don't remember this one. Yes, this appears to be a new quest. I'm going to accept it. At least, even if it's not a new quest, it's definitely a quest that I don't remember. Anyway, so we were talking about, you know, we talked the other day about the effects that had on my health. And one of the things is, obviously, again, I had not really been taking care of myself otherwise, but because of the smoking and such, I had a blood clot. And so I had to take medication for that for about 1.5 years. Which, not fun. Alright, not remotely fun. Because blood thinners are expensive. Statins, not so much. But thinners, oh yeah. And also, you can't drink while you're taking them. And I like a cocktail now and again. Or a beer now and again. So, you know, it just generally... It was the suck. Alright, it's a pretty neat little quest here. Go through, get the relics. Pretty easy to get a bunch of them. Seems like everybody's just carrying a ton on their person. I don't remember this quest at all, but again, I do tend to skip around a lot, and that might be why. This is probably the most thorough playthrough I have done since I started. And that was back at release, so...
Afragiban.
Okay, so we need to lure out Hadra's dude. Or, oh, we need to lure Hadra out and claim her token. Oh my. But yeah, you really want to make sure that you're doing everything you can. Drink plenty of water, you know, and if you're really at high risk, talk to your doctor, or just a physician, you know, if you don't have a personal physician. Which I know here in the U.S. that can be kind of rare. But talk to your doctor or a doctor. Get the tests and stuff going, see what you need to do. An aspirin a day, a baby aspirin a day is also not a bad way to go. I don't do that myself, so I probably ought to. Because they're not super high risk as long as it's, again, the very low dose, slow release. You don't want to be taking those big 250 bad boys. Because A, they're gonna do too much to your body. Quick way to end up in kidney failure. Or with the ulcers. So it's a delicate balance. I mean, the best thing you can do is just actually take care of yourself to begin with. Lord Arash. Hadra Lord. I'm curious about these Hadras. I don't remember this at all. So I think this may actually be new content. Hadra's token. Okay, so that's going to be in a drop box back here in New York City, in Cost City. It's in Cost City, not New York City. Okay, and there's some other little storylines too we can come across. Though I'm not going to go super out of my way, just because I'm lazy. Now, it would be interesting. I think a fun let's play, quote unquote, idea. Oh, good heavens! There's a lot of dudes here. Would be trying to speed run the storyline, quote unquote, speed run the storyline on a free account. I'm curious as how possible that would be. This whole... And we've got a amorphous red crystal formation. Love it. Gotta have it. All right, back on our Varactile. I'm going to start referring to the Varactile as our old tricks. Because we're always back on our old tricks when we're on the Varactile.
Baru
Oh no,
Jamunya.
Mandalorians. But they're pacifists. Not in this part of the timeline. That was actually one thing that, as much as I loved the Mandalore storylines in Clone Wars, was one thing I was always like, that's a little weird. Like, to go totally pacifist. I mean, you kind of see that in our own world a little bit. Like, the Germans are just super vibey now, and they used to be, well, the Germans. And the Japanese are super vibey now, and they used to be, well, the Japanese. But at the same time, they're not totally passive. I think it went the wrong way to, like, get through this in a reasonable amount of time. That's okay. Yeah, I did. This is hilarious. I just kind of goofed on in to going through this the wrong way. Yeah, but that's okay. Is this... That's where I need to go. Okay. Okay, we got a heroic mission here. We're going to take it because we're
Finally,
working on
someone
that
who will
weekly.
understand, or maybe even assist me in my work. My idiot apprentices got themselves killed during a simple ritual, and they still have the runes I entrusted to them. They just had to summon a dark side beast, a Sith spawn, and bring it to me.
Oh, yeah,
I
no
even
big deal,
researched
right?
the artifact to bind it. Could you help?
Why would you want to summon a Sith spawn?
You're right. Why would anybody want an incredibly powerful creature of darkness to study? Oh, you'll need to subdue the Sith spawn before the artifact can bind it.
If it bleeds, I can kill it.
Get the runes from my apprentices' bodies and take them to the archway in the jungle. The artifact is hidden there. It'll guide you. Well, don't just stand there. Go and get my Sith spawn.
Yeah, I'll just let me go do that real quick. There is another mission. It's this is the story arc for Droman Koss. I'm not going to do it on this stream. I may come back and do it later. It's long, it's involved, it's interesting. I've done it a dozen times, and this falls back on the old, I'm playing this game to have fun. It's worth doing. You should do it. I highly recommend it, especially if you play KOTOR. Links into some stuff in there, but we're not going to do that tonight. No, we're going to talk to Captain Sarnova instead.
Hold your position, please, and keep your weapon holstered. The remotes are scanning you now. You check out. Sorry, my lord. We're on the lookout for anyone with Lord Grathan, and I'm sick of letting him stomp on my people. Who is Lord Grathan? Look, stick around a minute. I don't know if you're familiar with the situation, but Grathan's a nightmare. The Sith Lord's gone rogue. He's holed up in his estate past the wall. He's got weapons, shields, and a cadre of scientists developing new tech to use against us. Grathan wants respect and authority from the Dark Council, so in true Sith fashion, he turned on his masters to prove his power. As a result, we have to put up with this lunacy. So if you're here to cause Grathan problems anyway, you might help us out. If it suits my plans, perhaps I will. Here's the story. There are nearly 100 men assigned to this sector, some on the wall, some watching Grathan. 20 are missing. My men. Practically my kids. Grathan stole them, and I want them back. What do you want me to do? I don't know what Lord Grathan wants with them. Maybe he's holding them hostage just to demoralize us. Who knows? But if you're heading to Grathan's grounds, help them get out. Tell them to report back to their Duchess. That's, what they call me.
Consider it done.
I've got reports saying that Grathan's been transporting prisoners to another wing of his estate. I don't know if it's my people he's moving, but it's worth checking out. Watch yourself. Grathan doesn't mess around.
Alright, now, for whatever reason, also, this is marked as like a normal quest. It is not. It's a flashpoint. It's a cool flashpoint. You should do it. But it's a flashpoint. Now, I've also got some other things here. These are things I should have done before. But we'll talk more about these priority missions later on. Alrighty. So, the heroic is going to take us off into the woods, but we need to get across the way first to do that.
Ay pincenazos.
Oh, I may not stream too much longer.
Be very careful.
I'm exhausted.
Grathan's eyes are everywhere. He's suspicious of all strangers. He must be blind to our doings.
I'll be very quiet, but you should tell me what you're doing here.
Good. Can't have the mission ruined by some chatterbox alerting Lord Grathan to my presence. Grathan's trouble, see? Big trouble. Mad scientist type, likes weapons, cyborgs, droids, ergonomic chairs. My mission's to keep an eye on him, watch for anything suspicious. But I don't know what you're doing here.
I have business with the Rogue Lord.
Business, eh? Like killing business, I suspect.
Oh, yeah.
Got a glint in your eye, like maybe you're not paying a friendly visit. See, my orders are to keep my distance and not enter Lord Grathan's place or cause any kind of ruckus. But I'm supposed to see about a certain prototype turret design the Rogue Lord supposedly acquired. Empire wants it for mass production.
What's so special about this turret?
I don't know specifics, only that it's supposed to be pretty powerful. Lord Grathan's got the turrets hidden inside somewheres. I'd go looking for them myself, but orders are orders. I have to stay put. Since you're going in, you could maybe poke around and see if you can't find the plans to those turrets.
Time for you to see what a Sith can do.
Good deal. That's the spirit. The thing is, you never get past the turrets unless you take out a guard and get a security badge. The security badge transmits a signal that tells the turrets the badge holder is friendly. So the op is, get a security badge off a guard, find those turrets and grab the plans. Easy, right? I'll be keeping an eye out here, right where you found me.
Alright, cool. So we got another thing. That being said, guys, I'm sorry to cut this short early, but I'm dragging for some freaking reason, and I'm not putting in my best effort to be entertaining. So I'm gonna cut this one short. I'll probably be back later after I've taken a nap and hopefully feel a little bit better. Anyhow, if you're watching this later, be sure to like and subscribe. Regardless, I've been Steel Walrus. You've been awesome. And I'll catch you on the next time. And may the Force